Today we're checking out the KAMRUI G1 Mini PC. This tiny box packs a mobile Ryzen 9 APU and a surprisingly modern I/O stack. I'll show what it runs, how hot it gets, and whether it can replace a desktop for most tasks. Quick note, this video is not sponsored. Links are in the description for convenience. Out of the box, you get the mini PC and a power adapter. My unit shipped with a 1TB NVMe drive already installed. You should expect basic paperwork and mounting screws in most retail bundles. You also get a VESA mount so that you can mount this mini PC on the back of a monitor. The G1 is a compact mini PC in a small cube form factor. It is a straightforward SFF chassis with ventilation and easy access to M.2 and SO-DIMM slots. Build quality feels utilitarian, not flashy, but functional for desk and home setups. Under the hood is an AMD Ryzen 9 8945HS APU. That is an 8-core, 16-thread mobile chip with high boost headroom. The integrated GPU is the AMD Radeon 780M. System RAM is 32GB DDR5 running at 5600 megatransfers in 2 SO-DIMMs. Internal storage in my unit is a 1TB ByWin M350 NVMe PCIe 4 drive. The board presents a 2.5 gigabit Realtek controller and a MediaTek Wi-Fi 6E adapter. The system runs Windows 11 Pro out of the box in this unit. For the front I/O, you have the power button. Next is the 3.5mm audio jack for headphones and mic. 2 USB Type-A, USB 3.2 Gen 2 10 gigabit. Far right on the front is a USB 4 40 gigabit Type-C port that supports DisplayPort 1.4, that supports 8K 60 and 4K 120, and 15-watt power delivery out. For the rear I/O, a Kensington security slot, then the ventilation grills, and the DC power input on the far right. For the bottom row, you get 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-A 5 gigabit, the 2.5 gigabit Realtek RJ45 LAN jack, a DisplayPort 2.0 output, and an HDMI 2.0 output. For something this small, thermals are always a big question mark. So let's talk about that. The 8945HS in this unit has a 45-watt base TDP and can turbo up to around 65 watts, but the cooler and firmware are clearly tuned to keep it under control. AMD rates the maximum junction temperature for this chip at about 85 degrees Celsius, and the G1 is designed to stay within that limit instead of letting the CPU cook itself just to squeeze out a few extra benchmark points. In lighter everyday workloads, the fan often sits at a low, unobtrusive level. Power draw is also pretty modest. At idle or under light use, you're basically looking at laptop-class power consumption. Under gaming or heavier loads, the system can pull up toward the limit of that 120-watt adapter, but you're still well below what a tower PC with a discrete GPU would use. So how does a mini PC with no discrete GPU actually game? That's where the Radeon 780M comes in. It's one of the fastest integrated GPUs you can get right now. Esports and lighter titles at 1080p. Games like Sniper Elite can all run at 1080p with medium to high settings and, with a few sensible tweaks, still stay comfortably above 60 frames per second. Heavier AAA games like Expedition 33 or Cyberpunk 2077 are absolutely playable, but they do require more compromise. Think 1080p on low to medium settings plus FSR or resolution scaling to land somewhere in the 30 to 60 FPS range depending on the game. Just to be clear, this is not a drop-in replacement for a desktop with a mid-range RTX or Radeon card if your goal is 1440p or 4K ultra settings. But in the world of integrated graphics mini PCs, this setup sits near the very top of the food chain right now. Since this is a fairly powerful mini PC, I tested its LLM inferencing, and it performed just as well as I expected. I only tested up to a 20 billion parameter model, since anything larger will not fit into the RAM and will perform too slow to give any meaningful results. For DaVinci Resolve Studio, this mini PC performs well. I was able to scrub a 1080p timeline smoothly. Working with 4K timeline is still passable, but there will be some delays and hiccups. For a 4-minute YouTube 1080p render, it took about 7 minutes. The same project rendered in 4K took about 25 minutes. This is definitely respectable if you factor in its form factor. For casual editing and content creation, this mini PC will have no issues. On another note, if you are looking to upscale videos, then I highly recommend going to a dedicated workstation class GPU, or it will take far too long to render. Short answer, the KAMRUI G1 is aimed at people who want a very small, capable Windows 11 Pro PC that can actually do real work in casual gaming. You should consider the G1 if you want a powerful, ultra-compact machine for work, study, and light to moderate content creation. You should consider the G1 if you mainly play esports, indie and lighter AAA games at 1080p and are fine dialing settings down when needed. You should consider the G1 if you value quiet operation and a clean desk setup more than squeezing out absolute maximum FPS. You should consider the G1 if you like the idea of USB 4 expansion, driving multiple monitors, and having headroom for 4K 120 or even 8K output in future docks. You might want to skip it if you need high-end 1440p or 4K AAA gaming today. A desktop with a real GPU or a dedicated gaming laptop will serve you better. You might want to skip it if you specifically require Oculink for the best possible eGPU performance. You might want to skip it if you need a mini server stuffed with cheap SATA drives. This isn't a storage-centric box. Overall, the G1 packs impressive CPU performance, surprisingly capable integrated graphics, and a very complete port selection into a tiny footprint. For many users, it can legitimately replace a bulky desktop as a do-it-all machine, while still letting you enjoy games and media comfortably. Thanks for watching this review of the KAMRUI G1 Ryzen 9 Mini PC. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss future deep dives into mini PCs, handhelds, and compact gaming rigs. If you own a G1 or a similar Ryzen 9 Mini PC, drop your experience and gaming benchmarks down in the comments, especially what settings you're using in your favorite titles. As always, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.